This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're in New York. It's fight week and I'm joined by King Jake Paul. Jake, firstly, how are you?
I'm doing fucking awesome, man. Like, this is historic. This is amazing. The energy is growing. You know, this fight is growing. Madison Square Garden, historic moment. So happy to be here.
Jake, when you first entered the world of promoting, when you started teaming up with other fighters, could you ever imagine you'd have been able to take Amanda Serrano to the pinnacle of female boxing so far into such a big fight?
I mean, yes and no. You know, I believed in myself, and I knew that I was doing things differently in boxing, but at the same time, you know, how fast this all happened is still pretty shocking. And again, this fight is even bigger than I thought it would be, and I think bigger than anyone thought it would be. The amount of press that's here, the amount of talk and buzz that this has is absolutely insane. So honored to be a part of it and honored to be a part of history.
How much do you feel you've learned along your way in the sport, Jake, from not just your own career from a professional point of view, but promoting, working with different people such as Eddie next to you and managers, just all sorts of people? How much do you feel you've learned on the business side?
You know, a bit, you know, but like, this is at the end of the day the entertainment industry, which is, you know, where I'm from and what's native to me and what I grew up doing. So really being a promoter is just entertainment and marketing, and that's really what I do. So learning a couple of things, but at the same time, you know, this feels like home to me.
What happens on Saturday night, Jake, between Amanda and Katie?
Look, I'm just as excited as everyone else, but I think Amanda Serrano just has that edge because of stylistically how the two fighters match up and how Katie deals with fighters that come forward and are heavy-handed. So I think Amanda, 8th round, TKO.
You'll know about kind of making weight and what have you now throughout your career. Amanda last time defended her world title at featherweight. She fought Miriam Gutierrez on your card against Tyron Woodley up at lightweight. But will that make a difference, the natural weight jump for Amanda come Saturday night, or do you think she'll adjust okay?
I think she'll do fine. You know, I was talking about it with her today, how she's eating right now to try and, you know, gain weight. It's hard for her to keep the weight on, but I don't think it makes a difference for her. She has such power and is so tenacious that no matter what the weight class is, she's going to be able to perform and be more powerful than her opponent, which is Katie Taylor. So,
being the away fighter, Jake, on paper, is she concerned if it was to go to the scorecards, if it was to go against her?
Against.
So say if the fight was to go to the scorecards, and Amanda felt she won, but the scorecards didn't read in her favour, has she got any concerns about that? So she'll go in there looking for a stoppage?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the name of the game, right? You never want to leave it to the judges, but it's, you know, we haven't been speaking about that. I think, you know, she'll be able to decisively win rounds and come out on top as the victor.
Jake, I'm sure you'll be asked about this by the other British media this week. Tommy Fury, your old friend, fought this past weekend. What did you make of his performance, a points victory first and foremost?
It wasn't much of a performance. You know, he fought a guy who couldn't fight, looked like an idiot in there. The guy couldn't punch, couldn't move, could barely walk around the ring. And Tommy Fury did absolutely nothing to him. I don't think the guy landed a punch, like an actual punch to Tommy Fury's face. So pretty embarrassing for both of them. You know, it just looked like two people who didn't know how to dance, got put in front of Wembley Stadium, and yeah. Tommy Fury, easy fight for me.
You said easy fight for you there. Is this still something you're interested in? I know when we spoke at Woodley too, you said it was done, but on the back of Saturday as well, do you feel it could happen?
Look, I was hoping he was going to get a knockout, right, to build the hype, but, you know, that didn't happen, and he didn't look that good, and his ego is massive, his promoter's ego is massive, so if there's negotiations that are going to be, you know, had, his promoters have to realize, like, okay, this guy isn't really worth that much money. I mean, the stadium was, you know, empty pretty much when he was fighting. You know, the stadium didn't start to fill out until the later fights, and obviously his brother fighting. So I just don't know how much draw power he actually has, and I want to see how the Anderson Silva event does. That's coming up. See how Anderson looks. See his, you know, the crowd that he draws, because that's an interesting fight, a more interesting fight for me than Tommy Fury.
So is the Anderson Silva fight the one which for you is at the top of your list?
Yeah, I think so right now. I think so. Really, any of these guys, I think they're all at the top of the list. You know, for me, it's just about time and timing and having enough time to be able to take out all of these guys, but it's going to happen. They're all going to get the smoke. So we'll see come August who actually gets their head knocked off.
How close are you to making an announcement, Jake?
Not very close. I think we're still waiting for some things to unfold, and still having some conversations, with people like Mike Tyson, who recently said we wanted to fight. So there's a lot of big names on the list, and we're just trying to see what is going to be the biggest fight and make me the most excited to get into the ring.
I mean, Jake, Mike Tyson, if that one was to come off, granted it's not the version we fought, but the chance to share the ring with a legend in Mike, would he be kind of the best name you could fight? No, maybe not the biggest challenge, but the best name.
Ideally, for sure. That's legendary. The old generation of boxing with the new generation of boxing all being mixed into one. And like Mike Tyson said on the Joe Rogan podcast, I think it would be the biggest or one of the biggest pay-per-views of all time. Together when we were on the same card, we sold almost 2 million pay-per-views. So imagine if we fought 3 million pay-per-views, 4 million pay-per-views, who knows? So Mike Tyson, like you said on the Joe Rogan podcast, if you're watching this, Azim, whoever it is that's on the team over there, let's make the fight happen, because I'm ready, and I know I would win, and Mike thinks that he would win, so let's do it.
Jake, I'm interested. Another name which has been touted with yourself is KSI. Is that one which would be interesting if he was to return to ring? I've seen that he's looking to get back in.
I don't even want to talk about him. I'm over it. He's just doing his thing. He doesn't want to fight, so yeah, I don't want to talk about him like that.
I also want to ask you about your affiliation to Liverpool Football Club, Jake, because I've seen your tweets recently. Where did this come from?
Man, I don't know. I just started to follow it, and Mo Salah said something about me in the media that was positive, and so I started following, what he had going on, and started watching the Liverpool games just recently. So just getting into football or soccer, whatever you want to call it, but it's exciting, and I'm starting to like it. I'm starting to learn more about it. I had no idea really about anything before, so a new fan, but it's pretty cool. It's a fun sport.
So there's 1 point between them and Man City. Do you think Liverpool will win the league in the end?
Yeah, I gotta rock with Liverpool.
One final one before I let you go. I know in the past you've had some words with Conor McGregor. I don't know if he might turn up on Saturday night, obviously to support Katie. Is he somebody you might share a ring with at any point? Any conversations there?
Yeah, look, our team has been talking for quite some time now, but obviously he has to go back and get some wins in MMA and hopefully get out of his contract with the UFC, and then obviously that's a mega fight, and I'll do my thing, keep on winning fights, and whenever he's ready, we can run it for sure.
Well, Jake, I appreciate your time. I know there's a queue for me. Is there any final words you'd like to leave on for the audience?
Nah, what's up UK? I fuck with y'all, UK.
Jake, thank you.
All right, my guy.